So today I want to talk about some things that I'm personally doing to promote my music. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Stein, and today I want to talk about just some things that I've been doing recently that I've got a little bit of success in promoting my music for my upcoming album, The Return of Hollis McCluskey. So, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is this may be the most obvious, but a lot of people, well, Instagram is probably the most popular platform right now. It's been out for at least 10 years, I think. Everybody that I know is on Instagram actively. And if you spend much time on Instagram and you follow any music channels or anybody related to music, you'll get and see in the comments just a continual amount of spam. People saying the same kind of recycled, cut and paste, bot generated comments. And for me, that's just, that's a big no-no. That to me, that's off-putting. That doesn't, not only does it not necessarily promote effectively, but it causes other people to view you negatively. I know for me it does. It causes me to be annoyed when I see that. So straight away, promotion and trying to get my name out or trying to get the album out has always been a difficulty for me because I'm kind of sensitive to coming across like a spammer. And so I wanted to talk about some things that have been helpful for me. One is email, and I know that for many of you, I'm surprised by how many people don't have email addresses, but at least recording artists. But one really, really easy way to get your music out is to go to a platform like Mailchimp or MailerLite and input all the email addresses that you have and send the emails through this platform. One thing that's positive about this is that if you use something like MailChimp or MailerLite or the equivalent of, you'll be able to see who opens your emails, unlike just sending it from like a Gmail or Yahoo or something. If you send it through an email service provider like MailerLite or MailChimp, you see who opens it up and you can retarget those people. And by retarget, I mean send emails that are specific to those particular people that didn't answer. And obviously the people who are the most frequent, you can see all the analytics on there and figure out who's interacting with your emails, who clicked on maybe the merch that was in the bottom or the links. And you can even retarget those people with a prize or something like that. Email is effective. At least it has been for me. I've run ads on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, the Facebook platforms, Instagram, all the things that are associated with Facebook that they've bought. Those advertisements through Facebook have been effective in that they've gotten a lot of eyeballs, but haven't necessarily produced a lot of people wanting to engage with the album. One of the things that's really difficult to do is to sell music these days because it's free on Spotify. So selling music, getting people to buy the album is usually not going to be effective. It hasn't been for me, and I've kind of given up doing that since my first album. The ads on YouTube actually have been somewhat successful. I think I did $1 a day on a YouTube ad for 100 days, for equivalent of about 3 months, $1 a day. And I think 100,000 people saw it. Now that doesn't mean they saw the whole ad, but it's basically a pre-roll ad. So if you click on a video and it says, you have 5 seconds to watch that particular thing, and then you can click after 5 seconds to skip it. So 100,000 people saw that, which they may not hear the whole song, but if they hear a snippet of it, I've heard ads where I've heard a 5-second snippet of a song, and I've let it roll. I've let it finish, or at least get past the skip part and listen. So that may be effective for you. It's super cheap, running ads on YouTube and Instagram too. But one thing I've noticed recently on Instagram, because that's probably the platform I'm on the most, is that if you scroll up your timeline or whatever, your feed, every other one seems to be an ad, sponsored, and that's only going to get worse. So ads on Instagram are going downhill. I can't stand Facebook. I hate Facebook with a passion. It's so complicated. The back end is overly complicated. Running ads on Facebook is complicated. And it seems to be just I don't even know who's on Facebook anymore, honestly. It seems to be just kind of a cesspool whenever I get on there of people just ranting and talking about what they ate for breakfast. One thing that's been positive, one thing that I've been doing recently is getting on TikTok. TikTok at first was kind of a turnoff for me because it seemed like it was just for young kids dancing. And that's not true. There's tons of people on there doing all kinds of things. Magic, doing live snippets of their music, behind the scenes production, music, all kinds of stuff. People showing, hacks on how to fix things, or even construction guys, building stuff. It's kind of addicting, and it's apparent why so many people are on it, even though, that is getting, starting with a younger crowd. I think it's going to continue to get bigger in the same way Instagram did. Instagram used to just be people taking professional photos, no captions, just pretty photos. And now it's turned into everything, all kinds of things. Recently, I have 8 followers on TikTok. And I posted a 20-second video of me playing just a cover song, a song that I like on guitar and singing. And within 24 hours, it was seen by 400 people, which is crazy. I have 6 followers on TikTok, and over 300 people saw it in 24 hours. On Instagram, I have almost 800 followers, and I barely get over 30 or 40 likes per post. Even with a solid picture and a cool caption. The amount of natural reach on TikTok is crazy. So if you're skeptical of TikTok, you don't have to dance, you don't have to sing, but if you're wanting to put your music out there, it's probably the best social platform for that right now. So email all your friends. One thing that's cool is if you email all your friends and you get a response from people, have those people email their friends. Have your friends post things on social media. I know for a fact that most of the people that I expect to support my music won't. I've learned that the hard way. Most family and friends do not care, even though they care about you. They don't care about the book you wrote, the song you wrote, the thing that you did. It doesn't, people just don't care. And I realize that. But some people do, and those people need to become your advocates, because when your advocates become advocates through other people, to other people for you, that has the potential to be exponential. Also, platforms like TikTok are the same. As far as I know, there aren't a lot of advertisements, if any at all, on TikTok at this point. I haven't seen any ads. But Instagram is so flooded with ads, even though it's because it's the most popular. That's where all the people are. But there's small, TikTok is the fastest growing platform, and even though I felt super uncomfortable with it at first, I was blown away by the fact that almost 400 people saw it. I think it was 3 something in 24 hours. So that's just my thoughts right now. My album, The Return of Hollis McCluskey, comes out on June 4th. And when it does, I'm gonna post a video about how to. I've already made a video about how to upload it to the streaming platforms. But once it's on Spotify, I'm gonna make a video on how to submit it to a playlist for consideration, which is really, really important these days. So, just to recap, email, and ask people who respond to your email to email on your behalf and to post on their platforms on your behalf. That will exponentially grow your reach. Get on growing music-related platforms like TikTok. Oh, last thing, and this may be the most important. Music directors, music supervisors. And a music supervisor is someone who works at an ad agency, essentially, or they work for a movie production company or a television production company, and their job is to find music to put in their advertisements or their TV shows or their movies, little jingles, and this is a huge opportunity to get your music out there. And it's difficult, but if it's successful, then it's a big deal. How many times have you seen a song or heard a song that was in a commercial you were watching, that maybe they're selling a Sony TV or a Lexus car, and you hear the song, and then you come to realize that song has become a big deal, a big hit. A lot of songs blow up through commercials and TV and movies, thanks to things like Shazam. People will hear it, especially if it's in a commercial. They'll think, oh, it must be popular. Let's look it up to see who that was. And that starts a snowball. Submit Hub is one website that music directors and influencers and other people who are looking for music to put in their content. It's a good website for people like you and I who may not have a platform or a big audience yet. So many people must go through websites like that, and their music, if it gets put in a movie, if it gets put in a commercial, it's exponential growth for that particular artist, especially if the music's good. And it probably won't get selected if it's not. I've talked about sync licensing, which is what basically Submit Hub is in the business of doing. So Submit Hub is a platform that takes music from artists. Artists create an account, upload their music, and then you have music supervisors or influencers coming to this website to find music in a efficient, easy way to select based on type, lyrics, what the song's about, what tempo it's in, what feelings. So as an artist, you upload your music and you describe your music with this kind of like a dating app. You just tell the website everything about your music and the feel, the vibe, the instruments, everything about it. And then when people come to the site to find music, they just type in something really specific, and whatever songs match is usually something that they pick. So at least it'll be listened by someone, but by someone who has the opportunity to put the music in a potential ad or movie or TV show. So sync licensing is just basically synchronization. So an ad agency or a movie has film or it has an advertisement, and they're basically synchronizing their advertisement with your music. And so they have to have a license to use your music that you've uploaded in order to put it in their content or their ad. Now, where these two things come together, the Submit Hub and say TikTok, for example, is that if you put your music on TikTok, like you're on your own video, like you would Instagram, influencers or people on TikTok or whatever can take your song that's playing, because TikTok actually takes a recording of your video and makes it available for other people to use. So if someone likes your song and you're unheard of, let's say one of those 300 people who played my song or listened to my song is a big TikToker, and they're like, oh, I like that song. I'm going to make a video using that same audio. And then that's essentially a sync license, except, you're not getting paid directly like you would with an ad agency. But if someone, for example, on these social media platforms uses your song or syncs your song to their dance or whatever, that's also a big deal. So try to think outside the box. I mean, a lot of this stuff isn't new, these ideas. But look into sync licensing. Look into trying to find a music director. Try to find a friend that makes, adverts. Or if you know someone in advertising, ask them if they know any music supervisors. Or go on imdb.com and look up music supervisors for your favorite movies. Go to places like Submit Hub and put your music in. It takes time, but it could be worth it. Send out emails. Make relationships on new platforms like TikTok that still have natural reach. And all this stuff will build on itself and hopefully will get you some fans and that will listen to your music and support you. That's all I got. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next time.